So Krishna, he promised, listen, I promise, the day after tomorrow, I'll come back to you. I'm going today to Mathura, I'll kill Kamsa, and day after tomorrow I'll come back. Promise. I promise. I promise. 3 times. Still they don't believe, and then Akrura started to whip the horses, and Krishna, he took his glance away, I'm going, and with that, all of Vraja gopis, they became overwhelmed with too much feeling of imminent separation, and they collapsed all completely, like falling down in faint, thousands and thousands of gopis falling unconscious on the road. Just like if so many, in the autumn time, all the leaves fall from the trees, and they fall everywhere on the ground. Well, Vraja gopis, their beautiful complexions shining like lightning, as if so many lightning bolts had fallen out of the sky, and were all lying crumpled on the ground. How beautiful they were. And Akrura, being very cold, he whipped up the horses, and very expertly he wove his chariot through all those bodies of unconscious gopis, and he went away to Mathura and brought Krishna. Some friends of Krishna also went with him, some cowherd boys in Nanda, and then they would return after with Krishna. And they're coming, it was understood by all that Krishna is going to fight with Kamsa. And everyone knows Kamsa is big and strong. He's very powerful. He has mystic power also. He has the strength of like 10,000 elephants. He can crack trees with his hands. So powerful. And Krishna, you're just a little boy. Everyone in Vrindavan, they have so much love for Krishna, they're blinded by love. By Yoga Maya, we're covered by Mahamaya. So we think we're this body and we're in ignorance. But Yoga Maya, that mystical bewildering potency of the Lord, covers the pure devotees. So they forget He's God and they can just love Him. Oh, you're my friend. They can joke with Him, they can insult Him, they can wrestle with Him. If they're thinking He's God, then you have to hit the ground. Oh my God, you're God and I'm small and insignificant. Yoga Maya covers them and they forget, oh, you think you're so big? I'm strong too? His friend Sridham is, how many times have I defeated you in wrestling? So they're going and they're thinking, they reach Mathura outside and Krishna's very, in his chivalrous mood, I'm going to fight, I'm going to have a big wrestle. And his friends were like, but we heard that Kamsa is really strong. And we're kind of, how are you going to take Kamsa? He's a big guy and you're just a little soft little boy, butter-fed cowherd boy. And Krishna said, don't worry. And he showed his Dirgha Vishnu form. He showed this massive form all of a sudden just to give pacification to his little friends. He said, I can be big if I want. And went filled up into the sky, massive four-headed Vishnu form, all powerful, majestic feature of the Lord. And all the cowherd boys, they looked and they were like, whoa, that's so cool. And they're like, all right, good job. And they're clapping Krishna on the back. Wow, okay, you can take it. You can take it. This is the love of Braj, Vrindavan. No matter how much opulence he'll show, they're always thinking you're just my friend. That can never ever break the intimacy. Whereas in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is speaking philosophy to Arjuna on his chariot in the middle of the battlefield. And Arjuna, he's treating Krishna like his friend. They're friends, they used to sleep in the same bed together. They used to sleep backwards like this. One side, Krishna's head, other side, Arjuna's head. And Arjuna's holding Krishna's feet on his chest. He would sleep at night, oh Krishna, Krishna. And Krishna is sleeping with Arjuna's feet on his chest. Arjun, Arjun. So thick in love and affection. But in that time, on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Arjuna said, I want to see. Because Krishna was telling him, look, don't worry, you're not this body. He's telling him all the principles of Bhagavad Gita. He said, I'm God, I'm everything, I'm everywhere. My universal form pervades everything. Oh, I would really like to see that. I'd like to see that form. All right. You can't see with these eyes, so I'm going to give you special eyes. And he gave him Divya Chakshas, divine eyes. And just then he manifested his massive cosmological universal form. What happened? Arjuna, he began to tremble. He jumped off the chariot and he fell on the ground and trembling held his hand. He said, oh Prabhu, please forgive me. So many times I called you friend. So many times I ate from the same plate as you. But now I see that you're actually God. You're actually the Supreme. Please forgive me in my offenses that I've committed in intimacy with you, thinking that you're like me and I'm your friend. He saw that and his love was broken, intimacy was broken. But those little cowherd boys, when they saw Krishna manifest that same kind of form, oh, cool, man. Right on. You can take Kamsa. This is going to be awesome. Krishna's going to kill Kamsa. Go Krishna. Go Krishna. So Krishna, he entered, and the first thing he entered, when he entered into the gates of that arena, Kuvalayapid, the massive elephant. Huge, massive elephant with 4 tusks, like in this day, we're finding the bones of these mammoths and stuff in the ice blocks and stuff, in the glaciers. Like that, massive elephant. And all night long, because they're planning to kill Krishna. They have so many waves of, plans to kill Krishna. Okay, first time when Krishna comes, we'll charge him with Kuvalayapid, this massive elephant, and they get him drunk all night. They're drinking, giving alcohol to this massive elephant. So elephants become very rowdy when they're drunk. They get drunk by themselves, It's a known fact. They eat fermented mangoes to purposely get drunk in the jungle. And then they become rowdy and they fight and they kill each other and tear the forest down and become very dangerous. So they got this Kuvalayapid, all drunk all night, and when Krishna came in, he charged Kuvalayapid with his rider on his back, and they tried to kill Krishna and Balaram. Big fight. He tried to stomp on Krishna, and Krishna would dance to the side and roll very playfully. Every move just like dancing. Never stressed, never breaking a sweat, just jumping around, rolling on the ground like liquid Aikido. He's the Lord, His supreme grace. He's grace itself. How beautiful His fighting and dancing will be. Rolling through, catching hold of Kuvalayapid's trunk and tail, pulling his tail from behind, dragging him across, rolling through his feet, tumbling him, knocking him down. Big fight. Finally, Kuvalayapid, he took one tusk and tried to impale Krishna. And Krishna moved to the side, and that tusk jammed into the earth so hard he couldn't pull it out. And then Krishna came and gave a smack, karate chop to that tusk at the base and cracked it off. He took out that tusk from the ground like a big, giant ivory club, and he beat that Kuvalayapid to death.
You play big words.
And then Baladeva Prabhu, he cracked off the other. And the two of them, just like 2 baby lions, they stood back to back as thousands of soldiers rushed in. So many soldiers of Kamsa, they're ready for the next wave. If Krishna makes it past the elephant, send in the soldiers. So thousands of soldiers came in with spears and armor and shields and everything from all directions. And back to back, these 2 beautiful personalities of Godhead, Shri Krishna and Balaram, swinging these giant ivory clubs, they beat all those soldiers to pulp. Smashed everyone. And now Krishna is getting angry. And he came, it's described, what a beautiful scene. The ladies of Mathura are seeing Krishna, who's like Cupid. He's so beautiful. He's more beautiful than millions of Cupids. If Cupid, who makes everyone mad with lust, will see Krishna, Cupid himself is so overwhelmed he falls unconscious. He drops his flower arrows in his bow to the ground and finished. That Krishna, that Cupid, and Balaram was no less beautiful, one black and one white. They come with these blood-splattered tusks on their shoulders and their bodies sprinkled with drops of blood from all these soldiers. And they come into that arena of Kamsa. And the ladies of Mathura are saying, oh, how beautiful they are. But how fortunate are those Braja Gopis, the girls of Braj, who see Krishna in his playful mood, when he's running here and there, playing and laughing and tooting on his flute and singing and dancing. Now we're seeing Krishna so beautiful, but in an angry mood. Imagine him when he's at home in the forest of Vrindavan, in his own place, on his own ground. Then the 2 wrestlers, Chandra and Mustika, came. Krishna took one, Balaram took the other, finished. Then Krishna jumped up and he grabbed Kansa. So many years terrorizing Kamsa, sending so many demons, harassing the Brajavasis, and so many crimes against love and righteousness and goodness Kamsa had committed. He was so sinful. And Krishna jumped up on the dais where Kamsa was, he grabbed him by the hair, threw him to the ground and landed on his chest so hard that knocked his life out of him. Then he went to the prison where Devaki and Vasudeva were also like his parents. They were there so many years. They had been tortured by Kamsa. They had been chained up there. They had seen their own babies killed in front of their eyes by Kamsa. He was so bad, such a wicked person. And Krishna, he opened their shackles. And he wanted to jump on their lap. Oh mother, oh father, oh mother, oh father. But this opulence mood came, and Krishna and Balaram wanted to touch their feet, but they pulled their feet back, and they said, we know that you're God. Oh Lord, and they began to offer prayers. And Krishna was saying, what is this? How will I taste Vatsalya Ras? How will I taste the sweetness of parental love and affection like this? So he wasn't very happy there. Still there's great devotees, pure devotees. So Krishna, because his mother there, Devaki, she was a sister of Kamsa. That makes Kamsa his own uncle. So to honor his uncle, he grabbed the body of Kamsa by the hair and dragged through the streets of Mathura, dragging down to Vishramghat, one place where they would burn the body and do the last rites of Kamsa. And as he dragged the massive body of Kamsa through the streets of Mathura, it made a ditch. And that ditch to this day, 5,000 years later, is still there. It's a sewage drain now. He pulled that sewage-like Kamsa down to Vishramghat, and he did the last rites of Kansa Maharaj. See, the Lord has no enemy. We may think someone may be against God, but He's not against anyone. He killed Kamsa because he liberated Kamsa. By killing him, He took him out from that sinful body and gave him liberation. But still He's giving honor after. No malice in the heart of the Lord. And devotees and those who make relationship with God, they should be like that. No malice, no enemy, no criticism against anyone. Have to be like that. Like Christian. The word Christian means like Christine. You're like Christ. If you're going to follow Christ, you have to be Christian. You have to be like Christine. Like that. Full of love and forgiveness. Mercy. So anyone who loves God, they have to be like that. Loving also. So Krishna did the last rites for Kamsa, and they sat down by himself over to one side on the steps of Vishramghat. One ghat on the bank of the Yamuna. Now, Vishram means rest. But we shouldn't think that Krishna's resting at Vishramghat. He's not resting there. He's thinking in himself. I left Vrindavan. I left the love and affection of my nearest and dearest ones. And I promised them, day after tomorrow I'm coming back. And now I've come to Dwarka, to Mathura, and so many devotees are here also. But they're of a different caliber. They have love and affection for Krishna, but it's mixed with opulence. They see and they know He's God. He cannot climb on His mother's lap and take breast milk there. He cannot wrestle with anybody there. He cannot joke with anyone there. They all know He's God, so it's very formal. Very dry in comparison to that nectar of ocean that's Vrindavan. So he began to cry. Because he knew, if I leave and go back to Vrindavan, all these Mathuravasis, they love me so much, they will die without me. If I leave after they've attained me, if I go back to Vrindavan now, they will all die. Only the Brajavasis, they love me so much that even though they're burning in separation from me 10,000 times more, suffering my separation, much more, they're living. They don't die. Because I told them I'll come back. And for my sake, they tolerate that intolerable pain of my separation. They survive when they want to die. And Krishna began to cry. And his tears were falling into the waves of the Yamuna that were lapping softly there on the steps of Vishramghat. Yamuna is so black. Water so black. Different reasons they say why. Liquid form of Krishna. Liquid form of Krishna Prem. Also because, at that time, across the Yamuna, just on the other side, Krishna is sitting on one side of Mathura, looking across the wide Yamuna, and on the other side is Vrindavan. And now Vrindavan without Krishna is a flash flood of tears. 1,000 million gopis, especially, are crying for Krishna. And their black kajal, the eyeliner on their eyes is running, and so many black tears are falling. And now Yamuna is becoming black from all their tears. Vrindavan is flooded and these tears are coming across the Yamuna and they're breaking at the feet of Krishna, those tears. Bhagavan is Satchidananda and everything, His name is non-different from Him. His prasad, when we offer prasad and we take prasad, it's non-different from Him. Everything that comes from Him and everything that comes from His associates is non-different. So those tears coming from the Braja Gopis and Brajavasis, that's them, themselves. And Krishna's tears falling is Him Himself. And when their tears are mixing in that swirling currents of the Yamuna, they're tasting one type of meeting in their hearts, feeling each other's moods. They're knowing Braja Gopis, they're knowing how Krishna is crying for them, and He knows how they're crying for Him. So, actually this katha that I want to tell, it takes about 5 or 6 days. It was something to look in the direction of this subject matter. Krishna and Mathura. Only Srimad Bhagavatam shows God like this. That God is crying for His devotees. Not only that we should love God and we should seek God, But God is crying and loving and seeking His devotees. When or when? He's captured by love. He's actually controlled by love. Because the Mathuravasis love Him and they'll die without Him, He can't leave. He's actually controlled. The Supreme Controller is controlled by love. And also, the deepest reason is, He Himself wants to taste that separation, and He wants to make His devotees, those Brajavasis, taste that separation. Because it's very beautiful. Outwardly it looks so terrible, rolling on the ground. Now in Vrindavan that Krishna's gone, all the bumblebees that used to hum everywhere, just beautiful music, all the forests of Vrindavan were alive with this orchestra of bumblebees humming everywhere. Different tunes and melodies, overlapping layers of music they would make, singing Krishna's glories. They were so joyful, intoxicated, drinking honey from the lotus flowers, and drinking the honey of the lotus of His face, His beautiful glances. Everything, all the peacocks were dancing with their feathers all out. They hear Krishna playing on the flute, these deep, low notes on his Murali flute. They're thinking, oh, it's thunder, and they see Krishna looking like a thundercloud. And peacock's nature is to dance when they see thunder and rain. So they're dancing, seeing Krishna, and bumblebees are humming. But now, all the peacocks are dragging their tails in the dust, and the bumblebees are falling in the ground, and they're rolling, crying in agony. Little bumblebees crying everywhere, littering the paths, not one floating in the air. And all the trees, and all the creepers, and every blade of grass would have burned up in separation from Krishna if it wasn't being constantly watered by so many tears of gopis crying. Such a pathetic place. Such a scene. No devotee wants to taste separation from Krishna. In separation from the Lord, they can't serve Him. Every devotee wants in their heart, I want to be with the Lord. I want to be with Him. I want to be with Him. If we're satisfied just to be living a sattvic life, I'm vegetarian, I chant Hare Krishna, I go to the temple, I dance in the kirtan, but we're not actually hankering to be with the object of our devotion, if we're not hankering, when will I be there serving Radha Krishna? When will I be qualified to be in their presence and actually put garlands on their neck and decorate them and serve them and fan them and joke with them and please them? If we're not hankering to be with them, something's wrong, something's missing, it's essential. An essential element of love. Service means I want to be with you and serve you. Not just I'm satisfied, now I'm living a peaceful life. I'm cashing in on all my Hare Krishna, all the chanting I'm doing and all of my initiation and everything that I do for the temple. I'm going to cash in on all that and just cha-ching, get a sattvic life. Mode of goodness life. And that's good enough for me. You know, I hang out with spiritually minded people. I know a bunch of spiritual stuff. We can have intelligent conversations and, you know, eat nice food and, you know, sacred atmosphere and get into it. I know how to put on my sari, my fine tila, my dhoti in the fancy styles, and you know, I know so many mridanga beats, I know so many tunes. We can learn, we can collect 1,000 million types of paraphernalia for service and never do any service with it. Mostly that's what we're doing. 99%. We're not doing any service. We're cashing in for me. I like it. In the spiritual world, the Lord is the center and everything revolves around Him. In the material world, I'm trying to be the center and have everything revolve around me. I have my wife, my money, my car, my house, my friends, my everything. I also have my religion, my God. He's mine, but not in the sense of intimacy. He's mine in the sense that, yeah, that's the one I chose. That's with my free will, that's what I'm doing. That's my style. That's my taste. But what's His style? What's His taste? Love means, what does He like? I'll do that. Not what do I like? I'll make Him fit in to my mold. I have to watch out for these things. So, Shri Krishna, He's waiting in Mathura, controlled by love of the Mathuravasis. Inferior as it may be, He cannot leave them or they'll die. The Brajavasis are crying. And one day Krishna saw that one tree was blooming by his window, bedroom window in his palace in Mathura, where he's now living like a prince, fine clothes and opulence and awe and reverence. Everyone knows he's God. And he saw one tree was brushing against the window and fresh buds were opening. And there was a little parrot sat in the tree and was singing. And so many springtime udipan, stimulation was there. And just seeing those flowers budding and that little parrot